Welcome to the Program Pod, a national award-winning program on the RCBC Podcast Network, which takes a deep dive into the programs offered at RCBC through different perspectives of students, faculty, and employers.
That's right. National award-winning, found out, taken silver, actually, at the Paragon Awards. We'll talk about that maybe in some other future programs, but it is Jay Varga. And joining the conversation with me today, your host, well, it's going to be me. But again, for today's episode, we're talking fashion design, fashion media, and merchandising, and getting you ready for RCBC's 2023 fashion show coming up on Friday, May 12th, which is returning to the Cherry Hill Mall. Joining me this morning, Mackenzie Phillips, a graduating RCBC Spring 23 student in fashion design and currently enrolled in FAD 222. It's fashion and design, right? That's what FAD's for. Fashion collection, where she's currently working on a four-piece called Sacrilegious. We have Lisa Steinberg, a fellow colleague of mine, RCBC program coordinator for fashion design and the new fashion media and merchandising program, and many other things. And of course, obviously, the fashion show production. And then Lisa Wolstromer, senior marketing director for Cherry Hill Mall and key component of having RCBC Spring Fashion Show returning there. Everybody, welcome to the Program Pod. Who's reading? Say hello. Hi.
Hi.
Don't be shy. So, as always, RCBC likes to embrace a student-first philosophy. So let's start with you, Mackenzie. Is that okay? Right? Hi. Right? We good?
Hello.
Hi. So are you ready to graduate next month?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, I was homeschooled in high school, so I've never really graduated anything before.
Okay, so that's a big celebration. All right. So what brought you to RCBC then? And, was fashion design your first choice?
Absolutely not. It was kind of just, I had never sewn before last year, so it was kind of I wanted to try something new, and fashion is always something that made me really happy, and the one thing I could look forward to in the morning was getting dressed. So,
So how'd you become aware of the fashion design program here at RCBC?
I think I had to look through almost every single major, and that's the only one that spoke to me.
Okay. And so you're saying you started out during COVID and stuff too. So how was that experience? Kind of like first, you're going from from homeschool, and then you got to go online, right? And now you're trying to learn a new major. Yeah. How was that all, like that process?
It was very discouraging, honestly. I spent the last 6 years online school. So going to college was something I really looked forward to, the human interaction. So, and making friends, I was really excited about that. So I made it, I think, 2 months, and then they pulled me out. And I was like, no.
Well, as Lisa, I know she's a great professor and learning from me and brings the best out of everyone, and we'll get to her in just a second. But tell me a little bit more about this four-piece collection called Sacrilegious. What's this all about?
Honestly, I bounced a few ideas. I had a lot of ideas for this show, and one that really spoke out to me. I've really been into the Gothic Renaissance era and just Catholicism and messing around with that in fashion, because there's so many different ways you can go about it. I think the Met did Heavenly Bodies, and I was just so inspired by all the gorgeous metallics and chainmail materials. It sucked me right in.
Awesome. Well, how has Lisa then, Lisa Steinberg, because we're going to also start breaking down. We said L1, L2, or Lisa W, Lisa Steinberg, so no one's getting confused that's listening right there. But Lisa Steinberg, again, our RCBC program chair and coordinator here at Fashion Design. How was it or the inspiration that she brought along to you?
She's tough. She's not
I don't get
easy.
that. You want to talk to her? I don't get that.
Oh, yeah, she's tough. She's not let anyone go below their potential. I think she saw my potential and made me pull it out of myself, because I don't think I saw my own confidence. But now that I've gotten older, I see why she does what she does, and I see why she's hard on her students, and I can sympathize with it. And she does it for good reason, because everyone that listens to her gets somewhere in life. So
yeah, I've had instructors like that when I was in school too. I thought they were too tough, and then you realize, like I said, they're just really looking out for the best interest of you, really prep you for the real world, the next step and stuff. So what is she teaching that's kind of, getting you ready for that next step?
Honestly, time management.
Okay.
I think she's taught me so much with time management, because I don't think that she's really tough on her due dates, and she doesn't give a lot of leeway. So it definitely made me step up and realize if I don't do it now, it's never going to happen. And it's made me a lot more punctual.
So what's next? You're going to be graduating next month. What's your next step, your next chapter?
That's the scary thing. I had plans to go to FIT, but I've had some health concerns, so I'm just taking a step back, and I'm probably going to do an internship for a year, gain some experience, and just work on myself and continue to learn, I think. I definitely don't want to stop learning. I have so many things in the fashion realm that I'm just like so interested in, like tailoring suits and like soft sculptures, and there's so many different areas that I could go into, but I just want to dabble in a little bit of everything. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, Lisa, now I can flip the script. Did you not like her in the beginning?
Well, I saw her on Zoom or WebEx, and
Okay,
I only got
right,
to see
right.
a frame of her, and that was it. So it happens. It happens. I appreciate the truth with it, and a lot of the students will come to me after and go, "You were so hard. You were tough," but thank you.
Yeah, but that's where you learn the most, though, right? Like you push and you push, and again, when you're younger, you don't realize that.
I think that's what I definitely think that's what it is. And when I see the potential in the students, which I really do see it in all of the students, they don't see it in themselves. Just like what Mackenzie said, the lack of confidence. I would never have known she never sewed before. From the quality that I saw, I would assume, oh, she's been sewing for years, and
Right.
That's why I could push her further.
Yes. So, and that's where I kind of like to always ask the faculty members, why you chose a particular student. In such case, what was it about Mackenzie? You're like, we got to get her on this show and obviously get more involved in the fashion
Right.
show.
Well, I think even what Mackenzie said, really stepping up to the level of getting things done. And because I have deadlines, and she was the type of person who needed that. And she did. And she stepped up with it. And it turned out that not just that she met deadlines, but the quality of her work was really amazing. And she worked very hard. She was very dedicated. So when I noticed that, when I spoke to her about it, I encouraged her to push further. And there's always, of course, time constraints with that. But she finished in the fashion drawing class with amazingly beautiful illustrations. We work with bringing out diversity in all people, sizes, color, everything. And I think Mackenzie's project really embraced that, probably stronger than the rest. And we kind of fell in love, the department, the other instructors fell in love with her work, and we all kind of said, hey, this is the one we've got to go with. In fact, when I showed Lisa from Cherry Hill Mall.
Lisa W.
I wanted to. And I said, this is the artwork that we chose. We want to make sure, that you feel comfortable with it, because they were going to be doing huge marketing campaigns as well. And Lisa was right away, she's like, we love it. She showed it to her people, her team, and they all loved it. So it was real easy for me to do that. And then in the fashion collection class, the students, I want them to really find their own theme. I push them for that, because a lot of times the students just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And that's when the deadlines come in. It's
Sure.
like, okay. And I always found, for me, working in the fashion industry, deadlines are incredibly intense.
Sounds
And
like it.
if you miss it, I had my own business. So if you missed it, you didn't get paid, period. You lost the job. And I've experienced that, and I didn't like it. So they come up with ideas, and I got to see, I know Mackenzie, she's been in other classes. I've seen the quality of her work, and I knew she was taking on something big. Sometimes it scares me when they take on something big, because I say to them, could you do this? Could you handle this? Could you pattern make it? Well, we have other, instructors that can, offer suggestions and stuff like that. And that's what I'm there for, like cinch it in, make it shorter, make it bigger. That doesn't, is that the best choice? Could you just try 2 other choices and see? And Mackenzie's the type of person that you don't even have to say that to her. She's going to do it on her own. Or maybe she learned from me. It's quite possible she learned from me. All the tricks, all the mean tricks are out.
Now, is the illustration, is this what's on the handbag right there? Right on the program flyer, it's going to be on all the posters and stuff. That's Mackenzie. This is your work, right?
This is the black and white version. She's got the, it's all in color, and the background. She did everything. It was just so easy.
Yeah. So if anybody listening right now, obviously we don't have the pictures kind of going along with it. Maybe I'll post it along with the podcast and obviously the flyer itself. But when we go there on see the posters and the social media marketing and stuff, that illustration again is going to be the brainstorm child of Mackenzie. But and I promise, Lisa W., we will bring you into the program, and we would be hyping up and talking about all things of the fashion show. But as we try to take the emphasis of the fashion program here at at RCBC and stuff, I just want to paint a picture for a new student. So maybe someone like Mackenzie just coming out, getting ready to go to RCBC and looking into the fashion design fad, as the cool kids say it, right?
Right.
So what else are you teaching? And you want to touch base on this new fashion media and merchandising section?
We're very excited. We just got it approved by IAC. So starting in September, it's what was fashion product merchandising has now become fashion media marketing. It's a huge trend in that direction.
What is that exactly?
So it's really going to be more of social media and communications. Some of the more business classes have been eliminated. Retail has just changed, and it's all on social media. And we want to embrace that. This is what, not just that the students like it, but these are careers now.
Yeah. So how did it change from before?
Well,
again, if I'm a new person coming in, right, and these
Sure.
softball type questions, right? I'm the noob trying to get a better
it used
understanding.
to be a lot more math and accounting, and you would go in and become a buyer, and you would think about becoming a buyer or just product development, which is still a great area to go into. Both of them are.
Sure.
But now with the media, there's more options. And also, a lot of our students want to be entrepreneurial. They want to work on their own. And what better way to experience hands-on projects? I always say, if you do the project right, don't think it's just for a grade. Think of it for your next step. And if your next step is either go to college or to have clients or to apply for a position. You can't just apply for positions anymore without showing a body of work.
Yeah, portfolios are huge.
Yes. So we have a new social media course, and don't hold me to it because it's so fresh off the press. But we have that, and we also made some changes in fashion design. We now are going to have a digital pattern making class, which Mackenzie's not going to get because she's leaving us.
She puts on a sad face.
I told her maybe she has to come back for that class when we run it. So we like to stay up with all the technology, what's going on. I kind of hear what's happening in the fashion industry. I find out what's going on with the four-year schools, and we really want to stay on top of that, and that's where the changes come in.
It's funny because I look at my little notes as I try to be nerd out and script it, and it's like, what's the hardest part about keeping up with fashion trends? Because it's almost like that you
Every
you
minute,
parlayed that.
right?
I feel like that fashion is constantly
Mackenzie,
changing. That
what
seems like
is
such
the
a
hardest-
tough curriculum to stay on top of.
Yeah, Mackenzie, like how often?
It's hard because I feel like before there was trends would they would come and go, but now because everything has been recycled so many times, it's almost like everything is trending all at once, and you can't not be trendy because everything's an aesthetic.
Yeah, I feel like almost I'm seeing like a lot more of the '90s stuff kind of coming back, or they're seeing a Stonewashed. I'm starting to notice some of the girls are wearing they're not bell bottoms, but they're like the blue jeans with like
The late 80s.
Yeah,
And then just as we go to bell bottoms, we're like, oh, we're already going high-waisted, right? Lisa would
yes,
know
high-waisted,
better,
yes,
right?
that. Yep.
With
Lisa W.
Lisa W. She sees it every day in the mall, but it was literally high-waisted bell bottoms. And now I ask my students, I'm like, okay, is high-waisted out? And they're like, yep. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, okay, that's kind of good. I don't know. But yeah, it goes that fast.
Okay, so now, right before I bring in Lisa W., I promise you are right on the next question. She gives me the thumbs up, though. Are you ready for the fashion show coming up on May 12th at the Cherry Hill Mall?
I'm going to ask Mackenzie. If she's
Good
ready.
Well, and this is how they're in years past, though, right?
Yeah, we're never ready at this moment.
No.
And I don't want to look at Lisa W. and even say that to her because I'll just look at her and say, yeah, we're ready. We're ready and we're totally together. But Mackenzie's going to be the best one to answer that right now. And I'm just stressed. That's all.
Mackenzie.
3 weeks left.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
We'll come back to that. Let's bring in Lisa W. Because we've been making you wait so patiently. So again, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So Lisa Walshammer again, Senior Marketing Director of Cherry Hill Mall. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got to Cherry Hill Mall, and some of your day-to-day duties?
Sure. I actually was started out thinking I was going to be a buyer because I majored in retail merchandising and marketing.
Yeah.
And when I graduated from college, my very first job, full-time job I got was in the shopping center industry working in marketing. And 37 years later, I am still doing that. I've been at various different malls in the region and landed at Cherry Hill Mall about 19 years ago and have been there ever since.
So you're back at Cherry Hill Mall, and how does RCBC come into the picture for, getting the fashion show back there?
So I was challenged by my vice president of marketing last year to come up with a signature fashion large-scale program.
Okay.
And I remembered that 15 years ago, I did a partnership with Burlington County College with their students and bringing a fashion show to the mall that highlighted their student designs. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be great to bring back? So I did my research and landed with Lisa, and we had a wonderful Zoom call, and we connected, and she was right on board right away. She kind of remembered
I'm not
the
surprised.
show from 15 years ago, even though she wasn't there at the time, but she heard about it, which was great. And so we just connected and said, this is going to be just a wonderful opportunity for, Cherry Hill Mall to partner with a great local college and feature, local students. We were the community hub of the region, and then bringing something back that was so successful from the past. And I think it's a great opportunity for students who, I think the fashion show is usually at this college.
Yes.
So bringing it into a public venue where more than just college students and family and friends are seeing their designs, but it's really going to be in an atmosphere where you're going to showcase it to a lot of different people. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So for both Lisas, right? So the floor is yours now, right? Let's talk about this fashion show. What can people expect? Where it's going to be at? First of all, actually, how long does this even take to get into the works and off and running? This isn't something that you just start and put up in a month.
How long ago did we start?
We talked, I think, last October.
I think we started in October, and then I remember by January 1st we went into full mode.
Sure.
And we usually don't announce it to the students until we were 100% sure. And once we got the okay from the school, it was 100% sure. We started to let the students know, and their eyes just lit up, right? I mean,
It's very exciting, yeah.
they did. Their eyes lit up, and it just was a game changer. And, you mentioned just the idea of it being in a retail environment, taking it out of the school, going into a retail environment is huge,
Absolutely.
especially for community college. I always say the big fours, 4-year schools, they get a lot of support, and they do them in these lofts and all these places and so forth. But community college level, we're at the second year, and we don't always have that opportunity. Plus, those students, they're usually seeing 4 years of work or in their 4th year. So this is such a great opportunity for our students. And when Lisa reached out to me, I was just so excited about it, having that opportunity. Yeah,
we're excited. I'm excited to bring it back. It was a great program that we did, all those years ago. We did it for a couple of years, and then we kind of walked away from it. So I'm excited to make this, maybe an annual kind of program. And I think it's great that we're going to highlight up-and-coming designers. I mean, and who knows, maybe one of these designers that's in our show today is going to maybe have their own store someday
That would be so
at the mall,
great.
like, Michael Kors or Mark Kane. And I think if I remember in the past, the designs the student came up with, they were all beautiful. They were all fantastic. And I think that we're looking forward to seeing a wonderful show.
Well, I've seen already everything in sketches and in muslins, which are just the samples, unfinished samples. And I'm blown away already. And, Mackenzie, her collection, she's about 3/4 through with sampling it and they're already getting started. We're just 3 weeks away now. So they
Right.
actually do all the sewing at the very tail end of it. But it's going to be an amazing show. We're expecting anywhere from about 90 to 95 garments on the runway.
Okay.
And so
And where's this going to be in the Cherry Hill Mall?
It's in what we call Grand Court.
Okay.
So it's right by where Nordstrom's is.
Okay.
And we have a wonderful, it's just a great venue. It's a beautiful setting. And Lisa and I, mostly Lisa, has come up with a wonderful game plan of how they're going to walk the runway and how we're going to set it up in the Grand Court. And I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, and Lisa's been so helpful with staging arrangements, providing DJs, and our beautiful swag bags that Mackenzie's artwork is on, and just a lot of extra things that would becomes a burden to small community college, small department, so forth. So we're very, very grateful for all of that, and just the space itself is magnificent.
So yeah, you're it's definitely going from the Student Success Center to the Cherry Hill Mall, and it's a wonderful contribution from the Cherry Hill Mall, and to bring everybody in the work such as Mackenzie, and obviously showcasing the RCBC Fashion Design Department. So what time should people be showing up? Like, when does this event start? And there's a seating time, right?
Yes. So we called it for 6 p.m.,
Okay.
and that's when seating will take place. So we ask that anyone that received a digital invitation, and they've been sent out, and they're also on the RCBC website. It's under, the calendar of events. It's also on the fashion websites as well, or they can reach out to me, and we can give the email after, and I could send them an invitation. It's a free event, but please digitally RSVP. You could bring your friends and your family, anyone you want to, and 6 p.m. is going to be seating. And 6:30, we are going to be ready to start. We'll have a few announcements, and we have amazing music that we're working on right now. And
I see the smiles right there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Well, and the thing I'm most excited about, I have to say, is Mackenzie's artwork being on the bag and being on all of the advertising materials you're going to see at the mall. I think it's super exciting that we are highlighting a student designer, and especially one as talented as Mackenzie.
How does that make you feel, Mackenzie?
Honestly, I'm so shocked and just overwhelmed by everything that's been going on. I never in a million years thought this would happen to me. Before this class, I'd never drawn a full body. I draw people's faces.
I would not see that from that drawing right there.
I've
And
never
again, it's
drawn
tough
clothes
to.
before.
And I want to say that I watched her progress,
Yeah.
and she did. I saw, like I said, a lot of it was dedication.
Sure.
Mackenzie is not one to give up. Like I said, hey, she might have thought I was tough, and I hope you like me now.
I think she's got that.
I do always feel that way, but she did. She wasn't like she was just, I got this down. She worked at it. She really worked at it. If you look at the work from the very beginning to midterm to later on, it was all there.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I spot it. I could spot it. My own background as an artist and fashion designer. I went to Pratt Institute, and I taught at Pratt for many years. And you sense it, you see it, and then you push it out. Sometimes the students can't see it yet. And I think that's why Mackenzie is in awe of going, is this mine? Did I really do this? And she's so humble about it, which is a fantastic thing also. So we, her professors all love her. Because she's the kind of student who is like, is this really good? Is it okay? Should I do more? And then at the same time, she also has a lot of confidence in her as well, where she's like, I really feel this is right. And I want to mention one other thing that I usually say when the students are doing something and I'm like, maybe we could try this or that. And I'm like, well, what do you think? And I like them to step up at that point. And if they're like, I really like this for this reason, I back away immediately. I tell them, I'm like, I'm going to take over your design. If you stay wishy-washy throughout the whole thing, I'm coming in and I'm taking it over because I'm excited too. I get wrapped right around all of their designs.
You? No.
I'll just take it right over. I'm just going to, I'm going to take over your design. I don't want to. And I let them know right away. You got to stand up. If you feel really sure about something and you're really loving it. I just had a student last night sent me an email, and she said one of the pieces she's working on, she goes, I don't think it's my best. I'm not, and it looked great, by the way, and I okayed it. And she said, I really want to come up with something else. Can I just have a few more days and I'll present it to you? And I said, absolutely. And she said, if it's not right at the end, I'll go back to the one I have. Mm-hmm. And even though, what happens sometimes is when you get down to that last 3 weeks, that's when they get most creative. Mm-hmm. That's when it's right. The procrastination is like it finally ended, and boom, we're like going full speed.
That's how I work sometimes. Best under deadline. You get like a writer's block or a creative block, and then you're like, I don't have time to have a block anymore.
I don't have that time anymore.
Yeah, I don't have that time.
That's it.
So Lisa W., you're talking about obviously we're hoping to have this as an annual spring fashion show. In the meantime, will the work remain at Cherry Hill Mall after the event, or is just one of those we're doing everything and obviously you're going to be there for the event to kind of like see it?
So we're going to put the advertising and collateral materials up as soon as I receive them from the printer. So they'll be up for the next 3 weeks until the show.
Awesome.
And then obviously if Mackenzie would like to take one of the standee signs home with her, we'll be happy to give her one. It's on our website now. So people can go to the website, cherryhillmall.com, and see her color version of her models on the website. But so they'll be up on mall starting very soon through the fashion show.
Yeah, it's crunch time.
Yeah, we're going to have, once the show is over, like everything else, it's kind of good. We take everything apart and it's all gone. We will have mannequins and some dress forms there, but that's just going to be on display possibly a week before. Okay. We spoke about that, but then after fashion show, it all goes bye-bye until next year.
Okay.
See, like she said, until next year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping. 'Cause I could see it, especially hearing just from Mackenzie. It's just great for the students because you said being in that real retail world, and they get that kind of like that reaction, but it's just a different stimulation environment, and they kind of visualize themselves within those retailers. I would think. Again, this is me outside the fashion world, but kind of coming into it. But it still sounds like an amazing event, and I'm really excited for all three of you surrounding that, the RCBC fashion design students in the community. But before we wrap up, I told you a little bit before we started recording, I have some new bits I've been working into this program pod because this is my radio background, right? This is in radio, you have to have bits, whether they work or they don't, but this is me being me.
I've been waiting for it.
Yes, and because I recently became a dad, I have my awful dad jokes to try to work in that I kind of do themed around. This time it'll be fashion and design. So these are going to fail, and if they fail, it still makes it even better for me. But just kind of a little breakup from some of this has actually been an outstanding and podcast itself, talking about the fashion show. Sometimes, talking about education kind of run a little dry at times, but that's why I break it up a little bit, and we'll see how this goes. So, why can't fashion designers play Uno? No, looking at my sheet. What are you doing? Why can't fashion designers play Uno?
Are we supposed to answer?
Yeah, well, if you can.
I've never played Uno.
Okay, well, you're out. Because they always draw a cardigan.
Do you guys get it?
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
You can play Uno, so you got to draw a card. All right. Sympathy laughs are cool too. I get it. It's okay. How did the farmer mend his pants?
I have no idea.
Kinsey, this should be yours.
I didn't know there would be a test.
Yes, this is on your final. You can't graduate unless you get this answer right.
I'm thinking of the farm animals. I don't know.
With cabbage patches. And last but not least, what do you call a jacket that's on fire?
A fire coat.
Not bad. My intern actually in the office, sometimes I test them out on my interns, and she actually got it.
Oh.
So what do you call a jacket that's on fire? A blazer.
Oh, that's a cute. We like that one.
Yeah,
That's very good.
We like that.
Right.
You're
Is that what
redeemed.
it
Lisa, I think you should start your speech with that one.
I'm going to.
Yeah, there we go. I got soundtracks and all. So anyway.
I'm going to use that one, Jay.
Okay, you can steal it. That's what I do. I actually had a great one for philosophy, I think it was, and they were off and running. So it's like
The
free to go.
Blazer's good.
I stole them from the internet, so you can steal them from me.
Blazer's good.
There we go.
I'm all for it.
So I did good then.
You did
Okay.
Very good.
All right,
1
so-
out of 3.
All right, that's fine. That's all that matters. So it is guess time to shut this down a little bit, but just want to remind everyone for the upcoming fashion show taking place Friday, May 12th at the Cherry Hill Mall. Like we said, you don't have to RSVP, but you prefer it.
No, you do have to RSVP.
You do have to RSVP.
For all the fashion community, just for a seat.
Okay.
So otherwise, we don't know. We've got a lot already, and we have a lot of our designers that have guests. So we ask that you please RSVP. It's free. You can invite as many guests as you want, but it will allow us to know how many seats to set up.
Absolutely. And again, we can RSVP where?
Well, you can go to L Steinberg, STEINBERG at rcbc.edu. That's my email. You can go to the fashion design website.
Yep.
Was
At
just,
rcbc.edu, right?
right. I think so.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You know- you know
I put it on there
You
yesterday.
put it on.
Yeah, so I know. If you go to the
know
fashion
that.
show.
The invitation is up. You can see it. Click right on, and it's also in the marketing calendar. I just saw that.
Okay.
So you'll see the actual invitation. And if anybody's from the community, it was circulated under my name, and you would have received that about 2 weeks ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago. So we're taking that right up till a couple of days before the show. And Lisa, once we reach our maximum, it's standing room only, right?
That's right. But you
I
could still
think
enjoy the show
Yeah, I
while
think you'll get there.
standing.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, there's obviously, again, that's the beautiful thing about the Cherry Hill Mall, the venue space for it. So you can have massive amount of people there and seeing everyone eyeballing Mackenzie's work. Right there. So of course everyone can follow us, our social media channels for RCBC. But does Cherry Hill Mall have some social media channels at all?
We do. We
Okay.
have cherryhillmall.com on our website. And then we have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Okay, looking forward to seeing all that work and everything else up on there. But is there anything else that you'd like to promote? Hi, Mom, or anything like that?
I just wanted to say one thing,
Yeah.
that our show runs on all volunteers, and all of our models are from RCBC, and we had quite an amazing amount of models that were interested in volunteering. We had actually turned away a number of them, and we felt so bad. Some of them are actually going to come out just to dress and usher for the show. So I just want to thank the students of RCBC for
Yeah, right.
we could not do it without the models. We can't do it without the students. We can't do it without the instructors. And we can't do it without the beautiful place. So I'm so grateful for everyone.
It's going to be here soon. All right, so coming up again, Friday, May 12th at the old Cherry Hill Mall, the return. Finally, RCBC's spring fashion show. But that's going to do it for this episode here of the Program Pod. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I want to thank our guests again today, Mackenzie Phillips, Lisa Steinberg, and Lisa Bolschimer, bringing us a little more insight into RCBC's fashion design department and getting us ready once again for that 2023 Spring Fashion Show. I'm Jay Varga. If you want to learn more about RCBC's programs, visit rcbc.edu. And for other RCBC podcasts we have, including the Baroness podcast highlighting powerful women of Burlington County, you can visit rcbc.edu/podcast. Also, be sure to subscribe to the Program Pod on any platform wherever you get your podcast. That's Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever. They're all out there. Until next time, thanks for listening. Ladies, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
And good luck. All right.
All right. We'll see you at the show.
All right.